Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dakr City. So today we're in a completely different area and even a different town. We're actually in Lone Pine. So Lone Pine is actually where I've been building the airport, and I'm still going with that. So I'll give you guys a quick update on kind of where that is or what I'm actually doing with that kind of a bit later. So yeah, we're a bit further down. I think the runway ends... It might just pop in where I've actually started kind of making it layout. So there you go. That's where the actual airport runway ends, and we're into this little town which is going to be Lone Pine. So I think you guys have seen these from my tutorials, just a couple of the small houses and things, the actual little suburbs area. But this is the main kind of thing that I've been working on, which is the board dealership. Yes, don't be bored, buy a board. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I kind of came up with the, well, I didn't actually come up with the idea of a dealership. I saw it on the server, and I'll give an actual overview of that in a short while. But I've also decided to build a small kind of junction here as well on the road, on the dual carriageway, which goes down. Obviously we drive on the left in the UK, so that's where I've kind of made mine. And we've also got the traffic lights, so I've had to use the item frames for the traffic lights. It's just the best way to do it. What I am going to do is probably in my texture pack make an actual block or something, which is traffic lights, and have it actually animated, so it will kind of connect into free, and then it will actually change colours at different times. So that'll be quite cool. So I'm planning on doing something like that when I get around to it, but for the time being I've got to stick with the item frames, and there is no way to get rid of this border around it. It actually comes from the birch wood, for you guys that are wondering. So it's actually the same. It gets taken from that anyway. So yeah, I've got a big kind of junction here. I've got a box junction. The cars kind of wait, here, and you can see the traffic lights there, and well, also over there if you're on this side anyway. So trying to think of that as well. That's pretty kind of standard. Obviously, because they don't drive, looking this way, you don't have to put one on the back of that side. So there's quite a few of them. I think this one, yeah, this one's the same as well. You don't have to do it. So there's directional ones. The middle ones that are here, so if you were driving around here, you'd go into this point. So I've actually got them also seeing across the sides, same on this side as well. So actually thinking of it that way, because obviously if your car is parked here, you're going to have to look that way to see if the lights are safe to actually go across. So yeah, oh yeah, unfinished road. That'll go off somewhere at some point. Just want to make sure that the airfield is all sorted before actually doing that. But the main kind of feature that I've been working on is the car dealership. So I'll give you a quick tour, then I'll show you a couple of the extra bits as well. So all of these cars and vehicles and things I've actually been doing from a guy called Zarius. So he's an Australian dude. Well, he's a British dude who went to Australia. Something crazy story. So yeah, I've got a lot of those tutorials in here, and I'll show you his channel in a bit so that you guys can go and check it out. There's just tons. So there really is tons of different cars, and I've also got a Jag Thunder one there. So I've just been using the number plate to basically credit people. So you can see here, these are all those like Zarius products, loads of little bikes. But yeah, it's looking pretty cool. It's kind of I kind of went for a modern-ish style with it. I've also got the writing. I'll show you guys where you can actually find a really good place to get different, fonts and things like that you can just search it. So yeah, it's really cool. There's a couple of nice little ideas that you'll like. The monster truck as well. That's by Zarius. Pretty awesome. I just decided to shove that on the top because it looks really cool from far away. So then you got the slogan, don't be bored, buy a board. Pretty cool. So yeah, you got the big normal doors, and I've seen those on Jag's channel. And I know he saw them from somewhere else, but I can't remember where he saw them from. So yeah, I've got those kind of doors, just using the metadata as well for those on the glass. You kind of come in, you walk around the big bikes that you got, nice big cars, and I really like kind of back piece, I guess, and I'll show you a full tour. I've actually done an interior on this one. I'm trying to get, especially with these smaller ones, away from the main city, which are mainly, exterior based. I'm trying to get these smaller ones, exterior and interiors done, and I want to have Lone Pine actually finished as well. And I've started to go through with the interiors of all of these houses as well as I kind of make them. So we've got loads of different types of cars by Zarius here. I mean, seriously, there's tons. So I just kind of chose a couple of those. Also played around with these. Got the airflow as well using the jungle. That was Zarius' idea actually for that. More bikes using that wheel again, the big wheel which is on the monster truck. So I tried to keep that as a solid theme going through. So you got the monster truck here. So I just took one of those wheels off, shoved it on there, and kind of shoved it around everywhere. I guess it's almost like the logo, just reinforces exactly what it is. So yeah, we've got this little kind of small, well, I would say small area, but the area where you actually have all of the assistants and the car people, I guess. And yeah, there's a little thing there. I'll actually go over that in a bit. So this was actually a cool little idea I came up with for gas cannons. So I was really trying to think of something, and it was just too blocky if you used a full block. It just looked a bit weird if I don't know, let's do a red one, for example. This just looks stupidly blocky. It doesn't work so well as a gas can. So what I did is I just used the cobblestone wall, and I had to weld edit that in. So if you guys want to know how to do that, if we grab, there we go, cobblestone wall, just shove any sort of block on there, and all I did is use the REPL something, grabbed whatever side you wanted it. If you wanted to flick it that way, click that, right click that, and you got your little can. Obviously if you right click this, it just pings off, and it's gone, apparently. So yeah, that's all I did to make those. I thought those worked really nicely, especially with my cobblestone being the road texture is a bit darker, so it's not like an actual cobblestone texture. So I kind of like those. So I've got a couple of gas canisters. I'll probably switch the kind of direction of one of those, but the bottom area is pretty bare, to be honest. These are kind of locker type things. Need to figure something out of that. We've got the double doors. Those go into the back area, which is really cool. A couple of little plants and also the lights as well. They're kind of everywhere built into this. But you probably also notice up here you've got all the windows which go into like the offices and the main office. And we'll actually go up there now just to show you guys that. So I've gone with another, you know, Jamsy Boy staircase, which I've been using a lot. And it actually works really well with modern stuff. As you can see, it wraps around perfectly well. So that's really cool. So yeah, you go around here. And you go into like a little waiting area. So you've decided to buy a car or something, or you need to talk to the big boss. You got a nice little sofa here, just waiting, with a nice view over the actual warehouse that we've got in the back, which I think is pretty cool to actually have that. It's kind of like a waiting area. Here you kind of had the call center or the main office people, admin workers, or people that are buying, you know, the actual cars, making sure the replacements are there, getting parts, all of that kind of admin type stuff. So a bookcase, another couple of those. Then we have the boss's office. So here, what we have is a nice keyboard and mouse and a nice little screen. A couple of chairs, just very, very simple. But I think this one worked really nicely, especially when he's got the overlook. Well, actually all the office things have the overlook, but this has the nicest kind of overlook, I guess, of the entire dealership down here. And also on the side, and also at the back, though, obviously he would have to stand up on the back bit, but that doesn't really matter. A couple of chairs. Really simple. So if we head back down again into here. So yeah, I just kind of laid out the cars pretty simply. I actually figured out when I was building the exterior as well where I wanted sections, because I know that most cars are free wide, and I knew that Zarius' cars were free wide. So what I did is I actually set this out and had 3 blank spots, then 3 lights, 3 blank spots, 3 lights, 3. So I actually figured out this main run to make sure it fits with them. So that was kind of planning on the outside before doing the actual interior, and then that just meant that in between I had these lights here, and then you can see that there's lights as well going up onto the ceiling, and what I did with those is I just staggered them going backwards. So you can see that kind of worked out really nicely. And using the wooden trapdoors that I've now got, pretty easy, pretty simple, but that really works, especially when you're in here. It kind of staggers backwards and makes a cool, I don't know, effect. It just looks quite good. I also noticed there is actually some hidden lighting. That's right, right here we've got some invisible lighting. So that's pretty cool. And if you actually do... Oh, not that. So if I go back up this. There we go. And if you go into video settings and do quality, and if you don't have connected textures, you'll just see these floating blocks. But for me, I've got kind of some of these floating invisible lights, especially with a bigger place like this. You want it to be really brightly lit. Especially if you're using shaders, for example. So I've hidden in some light in there, and you can see some more floating, especially above these really high ones. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So if I just turn that back on, there we go, they disappear. So that's another way to get some kind of lighting done. Obviously, I actually used the light grey wool here, so I could have also put in the floor some lighting and then put over the top carpet. So I was also tempted to do something like that, just hide lighting, but then you get these, and you can actually see this part here. And that's the only thing I don't like about it, that you can kind of visually see it, so I wanted it more to kind of go down and kind of wrap around on the floor. So over here we actually have the loading bay, because obviously the cars have got to get into the dealership, and they've also got to get out, and that's something probably people are going to forget about. So I've just got the warning stripes, and also using the cyan stained clay, which is like the shutter. And then we've got the actual back door here. Also got 2 doors in the back section, but I'll show you around the outside first. We've got a little petrol station here. Again, using the gas canisters as like the kind of handheld ones. And just using a couple colours. Nice piece of white stained clay. White stained clay? White stained glass. There we go. With a sign on it. What Zarius was saying as well, because I showed him this quickly, was also doing stuff like item frame and then having a compass wherever a compass is. Let's just find it. So I'll show you that, because it kind of looks like the dial, so it's pretty cool in that way. So there you go, you actually get it to look like the dial. I wonder if you can actually... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I was wondering if you could change the actual direction of it. And that just teleports me through. Okay, well that's weird. Yeah, so that was another idea. But I'm not overly keen on the item frames, as you guys know, due to lag, and especially with shaders. And I've just used them because I had to over there. So yeah, I got a little petrol station-y type area as well. That worked into this sign on the side, so when you're actually over here, not only do you have the massive wheel so you can tell what it is, but you've also got the sign saying board there, as well as the one on the front. And this just worked out really nicely. I really like this. Just have these big lights over here. I wasn't going to wrap those off, I just kept them kind of floating down, especially with the colour as well. Keeping that colour in there, and there's a whole roof section. But I'll just quickly show you guys the back. So there you go, there's the main loading doors there to go into it. Also got this back section, and this is actually the warehouse or the workshop. It's kind of both, I guess. So again, you know, you've got your big lights. This is a bit more industrial, so it's not supposed to be as clean. I didn't want it to make it look as clean, so I've just got these big floodlights in a way, and no other real lighting. You'll notice that this glows up. For some reason, this is something to do with World Edit or MC Edit. I think it's MC Edit. For some reason, makes the stained glass glow. It's very odd. So yeah, we've got that. We've got a nice little car over here. Got another Zarius car here. A couple of wheels just over there. This one's being constructed. And I wanted to show you guys 2 different ways to actually get underneath the car to do work on it. So we've got the kind of lift here. So we've got a Zarius car there being lifted up. Then you can actually go underneath it and work on it. And stuff like that. And we've also got the kind of the skateboard way. I don't know what you actually call them. But the way when you actually go underneath it with a skateboard, it's got these little kind of bits here where you would actually have a car on it, and then you would be able to go underneath, you know, on a skateboard or whatever they call them. I know they're probably not skateboards, there's probably specific things, but they look like skateboards. So yeah, we got this nice little lift here, a load of supplies here, as well as a separator between the 2 garages. So this is more of a warehouse of finished cars and also just storage, whereas this one's the actual place where they actually do work on the cars if they need to fix them, or if they're stolen, you know, respray them. Not saying that bored cars steals, you know, pays for stolen goods, but yeah. We've also got the crates in there, cardboard boxes, things like that. More cars that are finished, more gas cans, more junk. So that you can see that I've just filled that up with just stuff. And we've got a car here that's ready to go out into the actual customer car park, which I thought was quite cool. So yeah, let's just jump back in. So there we go, we've got the little doors here. And you can see the actual overlook here as well. I've tried to kind of put a ledge on it. That kind of worked quite nicely. So yeah, it turned out really nicely in the end. I'm really happy with it. But one thing that I tried to do kind of architecture-wise was I wanted it to be... I basically chose 3 different colours. I went with white because, you know, quartz it's pretty useful for everything. So I just went with white, red, and also black. So you can see that I've got the kind of Zarius, his big monster truck, and I went with those colours on this one. So red, white, and then black. Kept that going through basically the whole dealership. So you've got this big red entrance here, you've got the black there. Again, there's actually down here as well, there is a red stripe, and it's kind of difficult to show in shaders, so I'll just I'll turn those off. So you've got the actual red stripe kind of underneath there, and again, red, white, and black. Try to keep that colour going. That actual stripe goes across there. Every so often you get one of these to separate windows. And we've got one over here as well, and that's just to get a nice big red stripe in it. Red over here as well. And again, you can see red, white, black. So trying to keep a good theme going is really really good as well. So yeah, it pretty much just goes around that, and the back part of it is just blank at the minute. Most of these type of buildings are. I'm probably going to do a little bit of detailing when I get to whatever's going to go into here. I'm probably going to detail that side, or just get rid of this walkway. For the time being, I've just kind of gone around it with this simple like bushes, which have then got glowstone underneath them, and then I've just put some red carpet on top just to make kind of add a little bit more to it. Thought that worked. The big wheel here is actually 3 blocks, and it's pretty huge. It's just basically a free circle, and then just switching out some of them for stairs. So it actually extends this part to 5, that part to 5, 5, but stairs, it kind of makes it look a little bit smaller. Yeah, what else have we got? Let's have a look at the roof, actually. That might be quite good. So I've got a couple of solar panels because they're pretty clean. A couple of the little air conditioning unit type things. So I've got some of the bigger ones. And I still need to texture the goddamn rails. That'll happen at some point. So I've got those in there as well. Some of the smaller ones. Obviously, you guys have seen this. And I think there is actually, yeah, there is hidden lighting underneath this one. So I hid that underneath there so that in night it actually looks really good. And we've got a little... This I actually really liked. I was really happy with how this turned out. It's just a small kind of tower type thing. But yeah, it kind of looks really good, like a little communication tower. And then of course, customer parking. Because you always need customer parking. And the little entrance which goes onto this suburb road. Because you wouldn't have the actual entrance on the main road. It would be a turn off and then you'd be able to get in. Because not a lot of people, you know, you don't go to a dealership every, you know, all the time. It's not like a supermarket. You do go there every so often. So that's pretty much it for the dealership. What I'll do is quickly just show you guys Zarius' channel. There will be a link in the description so you guys can check out this crazy amount of cars. And there really is a crazy amount of cars. Actually, what I'll do quickly as well, before I do that, I'm just going to switch back to shaders and set the time to night. Because another thing that I did as well, there we go, is you can see the actual lighting kind of working on this, because you've got the houses which are normal, and you would normally have, you know, your street lamps. They would be lighting up this small area here, but a dealership would probably be a bit lighter, and you can see that it actually does work as well. So I've gone with different light levels here, so if you were driving down late at night, you would still see it. It's still pretty obvious. I think I probably could have done with some lighting on the wheel, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I might change that at some other date. But again, what I did is I used the invisible lighting blocks, as you can see here, to light up the writing. With this, I actually didn't need to. Again, it's that weird glowing bug. And then I got some lighting underneath here. That worked really nicely. And yeah, I've got some more on the other side as well. But also using the glowstone underneath these hedges worked really nicely for that. So let's just have a look at a couple of little bits that I've done here, like the writing and also Zarius' cars. Okay, so this is kind of Zarius' channel, so I'll put a link directly to it in the description, but he's got loads. I just kind of recommend just having a look through, just having a scan through and choosing a couple of them. It's only on 165 subscribers, so it's kind of in the early days, but really, really cool cars. Go and check him out. The other thing is this, which is really awesome, and I'll put a link in the description to this one as well, which has just got a load of blocks, not blocks, but a load of different writing styles. So this is actually what I used. As you can see, it actually does look like an actual font, and I think he's got a couple of fonts. Is that? Oh, right, yeah, you've got the lines there, so you can kind of figure it out. I think it's got little things here. Different types of them as well. It's pretty cool. So that's kind of what I looked at to get it, so I'll put a link in the description to that as well. But quickly, we're just going to jump on the server and have a look at Zarius' plot. Okay, so here we are on the server. So if you guys want to check this out, all you have to do is do /plotme-info. And if you actually do, if I do that, if you actually do /plotme-tp -9 semicolon -5 -5 -4, yeah, go to -4. Don't do -5. You'll actually come over to Zarius' plot. So this is actually one that he sent me a message and said, could you check it out? It's changed a little bit, actually. There's a couple more cars and things everywhere. Lots of different cars. And the Ghostbusters car, which is one of his new tutorials that I saw earlier in the week, which is pretty cool, to be honest. And that's really nice, actually, with the heads. I didn't think about that. That's pretty cool. So yeah, there's loads of credity type stuff here. Built by Taffinator, aka Zarius. All vehicles, yep, all his. Blah 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 blah. Visit his tutorials channel. Already given him a shout out on that. So yeah, I got loads of different cars, loads and loads and loads of them. So this is kind of what I had a look at, and I was like, yeah, I really do need a dealership actually. So he's got this really cool kind of border as well. Big sign here saying Zarius, and he's actually used the black stained clay that's in my texture pack is basically a load of checkers, and I never even thought about using this for basically for like those racing flags. So again, yeah, he's got some really cool writing as well. Not really sure where he got his font from, but he got it from somewhere, obviously. Or came up with it himself. So got that. Got loads of these little bits. And if we just go into the main entrance of this, there we go. You go into a completely different one. So he's got a completely different style to my one, but it's still really cool. So yeah, you got stuff like Optimus Prime. These are all from his tutorials as well. So this might be a good place to actually fly around if you want to see if you want to actually do any of them. So then again, really big kind of banner type thing there, which is really cool. And loads and loads of different little cars. This one's actually my favourite. Not so much in this colour, but probably in the black or in a quartz is probably my favourite out of all of them. Also got a couple up here as well. So this is a kind of lift, which I thought was pretty awesome. So got a lift going up here. And then you got all these different ones like the Batmobile and stuff. He's got some pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, we got nice little things here as well. This is because I've got a different texture pack. Or not different texture pack, different texture pack version. So yeah, I thought that was just pretty ace. Really nice ideas here. And they got the little ramp to actually get the cars out. I got an actual ramp like that going up. Now this is something that I haven't seen before. That's looking pretty cool. So you got like an actual trailer. And then you've got the cars being loaded onto it. That's pretty ace. That's a really nice idea. Never even thought about that. He's also got a car wash, but I'm planning on doing one somewhere else as well. So he's using wood slabs. I was going to say, yeah, you'll get this weird effect if you use the full blocks. Oh, but if you just use the slabs, it'll be all right like that. Aha. See? So I'll just change that. I don't know if you wanted these weird lights, because it looks through the world. Yeah, when you do it, yeah, it's weird. My texture pack. This is also pretty cool. I don't know if it's still flashing. Is this flashing? No, it's just constantly on. But he did have one that was, what's it called? Knight Rider. I think it's Knight Rider. Yeah. So I got that. Also, I think this is like a little petrol station type area. Pretty cool, with loads of trash bins and things. And also like his own little version of the actual garage, which I thought was pretty cool. And I really like these. Actual like Petrol Plus things, and also a water thing. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. I like that. So lots of different stuff. Nice little ideas as well. So this is what I actually saw, and I was like, yeah, I do need to do something like that. So yeah, come and check this plot out if you want some inspiration on that side, guys. But that's pretty much it for this episode of Dakr City, I think. With the airport as well, so I'll give you a quick update on that. I'm still working on it. It's just taking quite a while. It really is. But I'm almost there. I've basically been building the actual runway. So I'm trying to get that sized up so I can give you guys the exact dimensions of what I'm using so that you have something to work from, and then you can just basically place that down wherever you need to. Because that kind of sizes and scales to everything else. Even though I'd roughly sized it out, when I started putting on the markings, I needed it to be bigger. So I was kind of maybe like this before, and I would have had, you know, like a building here. Or actually, that's a bit small, but if we say that the runway was like that, and I was going to have my main building here, and then going around or something like that, I have the terminals on that. I just needed it bigger. When I was doing the markings, I actually needed to kind of extend this by quite a lot, and that would then scale the rest of the building and give me a little bit more space as well for hangars and stuff. So I'm almost done with that. I've almost got the markings. As soon as I do, I will post an episode on the actual airport. I'll show you all of the actual markings and things like that I've got in as much detail as I can, so you could actually recreate it. I'll probably just put up a picture as well with the actual, you know, how many blocks I've done between the markings. But it's very, very close to Jag's, as Jag did a really good video the other week about that. But thanks for watching, guys. Come and check out this plot on the server, and I will see you on the next one.